I f***ing love true crime, you know? Chances are you probably love true crime too, especially if you're a woman. Investigation Discovery, that channel that just is about like murders and stuff, that's a top cable network for women ages 24 to 54. And I don't know why women in particular love true crime. I can justify my need to gawk at murder pretty much, but I've been reading about this phenomenon where women aren't just obsessed with the crime, they're obsessed with the killer. Take Chris Watts, for instance. He killed his wife, he killed his children, and he has all of these admirers, these women who are writing love letters to him, talking about how they think he's so attractive. Are these women crazy? I decided that I had to find out, why was this happening? So I wrote a letter to Chris Watts. I looked up his address, his prisoner number, and it wasn't a love letter or anything, but I still wrote a letter. This whole area has got serial killer vibes. I'm currently driving to upstate New York to meet Sheila Eisenberg.
Sheila Eisenberg, she's the author of Women Who Love Men Who Kill.
She interviewed a bunch of these women, and it's probably the best study there exists today. God, how do you find this place? Was that it? Here we go. We're here. Let's go meet Sheila. Hi, how are you doing?
I was just calling you to see if you got lost.
Oh, no, I did get lost. Sheila, thank you so much for having me here.
My pleasure.
I love true crime, but a lot of women like true crime. What's wrong with me?
I don't think there's anything wrong with you.
thank
It's
you.
just your interest.
Yeah.
The question is, are more women than men interested in true crime? And the next question is why? Why would women be more susceptible to this than men? One possibility is, I really want to be tough. Mm-hmm. I really want to be violent myself, but society won't let me. I don't know.
Yeah, live vicariously through the killer.
When I wrote this book, I started thinking about all the other stories I knew of women who were involved with men behind bars for murder.
Will you marry me?
Yes.
And I do hereby marry you.
And I thought, like, why? And I started finding the women
Yeah.
and then interviewing them.
What were some of the personality traits that you noticed?
Most of them had jobs. Mm-hmm. They were married, they had children. One woman had a PhD and was a college professor.
This makes me even more fearful that, like, this could happen to me.
Intelligence, personality.
Yeah.
Doesn't really enter into it. This is about psychology.
What was it in their past?
Every woman had been abused in her past. By getting involved with the prisoner, the lifer, they were in the dominant position. They would make the prison visits. Mm-hmm. They would accept the collect phone calls.
So this was also a way of regaining control?
Yes.
In some sense?
So I'm writing a new book. I'm going to explore why women, more than men, are so obsessed with true crime.
When you look at women who write to serial killers, I feel like, okay, well, where is the line? When does my obsession become creepy and problematic?
These women are not crazy. When you fall in love with someone, it's because that person fills your psychological needs. So being in a relationship with a convicted murderer is like being the star in a romance novel all the time.
That makes it sound really good.
Well, when you get to be my age, you don't want that.
Okay.
It would be exhausting.
Okay, that's fair. But,
To
you
go
know, the
back,
women who are
yeah.
writing to Chris Watts,
Right.
why are they attracted to
Well,
him?
any notorious killer had so many news stories written about them. You can't turn on the television without a documentary or even a feature film being made about one of these people.
No, and I'll probably watch it if I'm honest.
Right, and any woman who can write to one of those people and get a response and form a relationship, she too will be notorious. Chris Watts or Scott Peterson, remember him? He's similarly notorious. Any of those people will answer you.
15 minutes of fame, that's attractive to, I think, everyone.
One of the basic human needs is to be known. Mm-hmm. We live in a celebrity culture, and it started with reality TV. The worship of celebrities and the celebrity culture that began like 20, 30 years ago has just morphed into this crazy beast. Why more women than men are obsessed with crime, true crime and outlaws, has to do with the way culture still views women. We still don't have a woman president. We still don't have more than 50% representing top ranks of corporations. Think how much flack women get from being outspoken.
Yeah,
Tough
that's,
women
that's very true.
get a lot of flack.
If you're a tough woman, you're a bitch.
Yeah.
If you're a tough man, it's like you're taking leadership.
America is a country founded on, the Wild West. The cowboy, tall, lean, mean, with 2 6-shooters on his hip, settling the frontier.
That's true.
That's our history. And then moving forward into the 1920s and 30s, those gangsters, John Dillinger, Pretty Boy Floyd, Legs Diamond, they captured headlines like the serial killers. Like Legs Diamond was in the New York Times, I think, 300 times in 1 year. They've been made into heroes over the years through films and books.
It actually makes these women who write to serial killers seem logical in what they're doing.
This is filling some kind of a need. Chris Watts has, I think, 6 Facebook groups.
Wow.
Thousands of women in each one. People discussing the case, obsessed with the case. There's one group that isn't sure he's guilty, and they argue about that.
They're very public and out about
Right.
it. Say, Sheila, I told you that I wanted to write Chris Watts a letter, but I knew it was wrong. What would you say to me?
I would not worry about your psychological health in the sense that I would think you were crazy.
So Sheila showed me that these women aren't crazy. There are so many reasons why these women would fall for serial killers. Hollywood and gangster movies, reality TV, social media perfectly collide to create this phenomenon. But yeah, I really wish I didn't write Chris Watts that letter.